If you guys are interested in Oculus Quest 2, Zenith VR MMO, or A Township Tale VR content and updates, then go ahead and like the video, hit the notification bell, and subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss out on any future videos. Welcome back to Quest World. Today we will be discussing A Township Tale and 5 things I would never change about the game, or 5 things to keep from the game indefinitely. And I'm probably in luck here, seeing how the game is quite old already in comparison to other newer VR games, and it looks like the game is set in its ways as it is. And sometimes that can be a great thing if you have something really good going like this game does. The other day, I did a video on 5 things I would like to change about the game. So today, I would like to take a positive look at all the things that make me very happy to play this game, things that I either don't get a great enjoyment out of other games, or it just does better than other games do in VR right now, at least on the Oculus Quest 2. So, let's log into the video. Number 5. Practicality. The practicality in this game is absolutely astonishing because everything you do requires a level of intuitive thinking. If you want a hammer, put a rock on a stick instead of just, going into town and finding a hammer, although there are iron hammers on the ground occasionally. That level of practicality allows you to either solve the problem yourself or go find a solve for the problem. This is something for me that makes it very realistic whenever I have multiple options in a game on how to build a tool or how to solve an issue or complete a quest, especially if we're talking about interactivity and immersiveness. Number 4. Loading walls. Now, when you play this game, you'll notice that there are not many loading walls. In fact, there are practically no loading walls at all throughout the entirety of the time you're playing this game, unless you get DC'd and need to be reloaded back into your server, or you're going to load out and load back into someone else's server. But once you are in the game, you do not have to deal with a loading wall to go into a building, to leave your area, to go into the mines, to enter anything except for changing your character's customization. It is an amazing feeling to not have to load ever. It basically makes your immersion that much more realistic because real life doesn't load. When they trick you by maybe making the darkness thicker in front of you, allowing the game to load a little further, or putting you on some kind of transitional thing like in a car or on an elevator to take you from point A to point B in the game, that's a clever way of loading. But this game literally doesn't even have doors on most of the buildings, so you can just walk right in. I have to say, it is much appreciated whenever the developers make a game like this that allows you to immerse yourself so much into the game that you don't even worry about the loading walls, and you can just knock out task after task after task. Number 3. Crafting and little pieces. This is something in the game that I don't think any other game currently holds a candle to. Not that other games don't let you craft or craft interesting things, but this one it literally lets you craft just about whatever you want. In fact, whenever I can craft my favorite weapon, which is a Yari, which is pretty much a cross-looking spear, I have to say that it is a pretty interesting crafting system due to the fact that this is not a normal weapon you see in a lot of RPGs or video games. Sure, you may see a spear, but a Yari is very rare. So just to make a long point short, it's interesting to see that you can make many different kinds of not only fantasy weapons, practical medieval weapons, and practical weapons for combat like spiked shields, but you can build just about anything you can imagine. And in fact, the only thing I think we're missing is a multi-tool. Unless someone knows how to make that, let me know in the comments below. And what I mean by this is just shoving like a shovel head onto the same stick that an axe resides on, so that you can carry less stuff around essentially. But I gotta say, the blacksmithing is super in-depth. The crafting is on a whole nother level in this game. In fact, I really thought this game was going to be more about combat than crafting when I first initially played it. Like pick a job, combat a lot of stuff so you can get materials and then come back to your job occasionally. But really, it's kind of the reverse. You're doing a lot of the township jobs a lot more than you are dungeoning and combating, at least in my particular town. Number two, the servers and the visitation of servers. And so, what I mean by this is that I absolutely love the way they do servers. Mind that I did say in the last video there aren't enough of them, but the way they do servers is amazing. Not only are servers private via invite, but there are the public Discord servers. The main key point is this: when I leave my server, my friends can still join my server. I don't have to be logged in for them to play on the same town. So if we're all working on the same thing, they can log in and work on the same thing I've been working on. This is absolutely perfect for a community game because it means you don't have to be online at the same time as your friends to work on the same server that you want to work on. This is undoubtedly going to be something that sets this game apart from a majority of all other VR games, especially in this category. Simply the ability to play with your friends on the same server and build your own town was one thing, but in this way, you can build it anytime you want, and it doesn't even matter if they're there. You can literally build on a server and never even meet the people you're building with. It's absolutely insane. For number one on today's list, I'm going to be talking about the cosmetics slash personality and identity of you and the player. I gotta admit, this video is a bit of a gush video. It's literally just a bunch of stuff I like about the game, but I have to say the cosmetics is through the roof in comparison to a majority of the other games. And what I mean by this is the cosmetics for the player. I just really enjoy games that allow you to character customize as much as this one has. But it goes beyond that. Not just character customization, but kind of like we were touching on earlier, the fact that I can make my own personal favorite weapon. You can actually create something that is closer to your personality than any other game. Sure, you drop into any RPG and you choose, paladin, rogue, warrior, whatever, archer, but the thing here is that you can actually choose stuff that you would really use in real life because the options are so limitless when it comes to crafting things that you can build something very interesting to use. Or you could, let's say you use tonfas in real life, or you like a short dagger, or something crazy like a long scythe, or like I said earlier, my Yari. You want something crazy like the biggest possible sword ever that the game can produce. You want a cloudbuster sword. Any of that stuff can be made. Your character is not just the clothes you put on like in a lot of games. Your character is everything you build, every part of your job, and more importantly, who are you in the township community? Because while playing alone has its benefits, playing in the community is way more interesting, and because it's a social game, it's a individual personality type building game, it is a game that allows you to express yourself a lot. It's just way funner to do that with other people and to play in a way where everyone can see all the cool stuff you've made. The game allowing you to basically build anything that you want gives your character a kind of personality that most RPGs can't give. In another RPG, you may find someone who plays the exact same class as you and even uses the same weapons or loadout. There are even metas in other RPGs and stuff like that that basically one class or two classes will be better than all other classes. This is a game that doesn't seem to have any particular kind of meta, at least not on the surface. Playing as any class is just playing as yourself. If you play as yourself or someone you want to play as, instead of just picking the traditional role, you'll have a ton of more fun playing this game. Those are just 5 things I really enjoyed about this game. I really hope you guys are enjoying the game too. Remember that if you want to play this game with us, you can go over to our Discord server to check that out. And guys, don't forget, next week we're doing another week of Zenith. Zenith Alpha 2 is coming out, and we will be covering that every day as much as we can, and I will make sure that you guys have all the updates that you need, all the new information about the game that you need. And if you have any comments about the 5 things that you may like the most about this game, or anything about Zenith, go ahead and let us know down below. Remember that if you would like to join the conversation on any of the topics we cover on the channel, come on over to the Facebook group, Discord, or Patreon. We really appreciate all the likes, comments, and subscribes, all the support from all viewers. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please keep watching.